Hey everybody, happy Wine Wednesday. Kevin and Robin here with our first Wine Wednesday of 2022. Happy New Year.
How was your holidays?
It was awesome, thank
Yeah?
you. I got 10 hours of sleep every night, recharged and fresh.
Yeah, that's kind of the way it goes, right? You go pretty hard till Christmas Eve, and then it's time to kind of shut her down for a little while.
Absolutely, lots of wine, lots of recharge time. It was awesome. How about
Good.
you?
Got lots of nice bottles of wine in, which was great. Got to catch up with friends and family and do all those, nice fun holiday
Good.
things. So it was awesome. Thanks.
Good.
And now we're back in alpine weather, alpine wines, and ready to go back at it.
Absolutely. Nothing about minus 30 and snow in January makes me want a ski chalet, some melted cheese, and some great wine more.
There you go. Let's start with a little white, shall we? You can talk while I open. How's that?
Alrighty. So this week we are featuring some of the wines from the Perrier family in Savoie. So we are right at the foothills of the Alps in eastern France, a little region that actually just became part of France kind of in the mid-1800s, and the Perrier family has been making wine there since the early 1900s.
All right. I love selling these wines, and for a bunch of different reasons. Number one, I always like selling things that are a little bit different, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's fun to sell wines from areas that maybe people haven't had before, or haven't even maybe heard of before in this case, and grape varieties that are indigenous to those areas. There's something about selling a wine where you just have this grape variety that only grows in this one particular part of France, and it's just, you don't see it in California or Chile or anywhere else. It's just really in this one specific area. So today we're tasting Jacquard, which I've never had outside of this part of France. So it grows in these kind of small terraced vineyards. It's rare to see it outside there because there's so much tourism there, because you have all the skiers there in the winter and all the hikers there in the summer. So most of the producers in the Savoie are very small. It's all small kind of family wineries, and they don't have these big swaths of land because land's very expensive. You're in the Alps, so you have really just this patchwork of vineyards. And Perrier manages to put together enough of them that they can do a little bit of exporting, which is super fun for us to be able to access these wines in Calgary. I think is really, really cool, because they really do show very clearly where they come from. It's fun to put your nose in this because there's something about it that just makes you think of like an alpine meadow, or like alpine flowers, or a garden or something.
I mean, we always talk about how grapes grow and like the benefits of having that mountain fruit, because it always just has this natural freshness to it, right? Like we can get really nerdy and talk about slopes and sunshine and soils and all the things, because this particular region has all of that stuff to offer, and that cool mountain climate just keeps it like really bright and zesty.
Yeah, and if you're doing things like, you might think, okay, white wine from a cool climate in the middle of winter doesn't sound like a great idea, but if you're doing things like raclette, which is super trendy right now,
melted cheese,
anything like that.
All the things I want.
Yeah, the things you want right now this weekend. This is a perfect wine to match with that, because it has that great freshness, that great acidity, and it kind of smells like summertime, which isn't a bad thing in the dead of winter, which we are clearly in right now.
It gets this really cool, like flinty mineral note on the finish too, which again, when you're doing those kind of like fattier or creamier cheeses, like really cuts through that.
Kind of reminds
really
me of Chablis a little bit. It's got that, but it has this kind of unique character that's not Burgundy. It's a fun wine. If you haven't had a chance to try it.
And it really clocks in at 11%, 11.5 alcohol too, which is like nice. You can have a couple glasses.
There you go. And what does that go for on the shelf?
$23.95. All of them, all three of them really are $23.95 on the shelf.
Well, there you go.
Which is awesome pricing.
And I'm really keen to try this red. So this is a red that's made with primarily Gamay, I believe, correct? And I've not had this before. And the name of this wine is always fun to say. Everybody is down with the pig. It's pretty much what that means. So actually what that translates to is like all parts of the pig are good. But I love that label. It's really fun if you're doing a little raclette or a fondue type of thing. Like, you gotta have a bottle of that on the table.
These are really fun. I always pop these in the fridge too and chill them down a little bit. It again just like adds a little more lift and freshness to it.
This is fun. This kind of reminds me, I thought it would be more Beaujolais-like, a little plumper, but this is like
it's like a little spicy, a little savory.
Yeah, it's definitely a much more savory, kind of more peppery version of this grape variety than you would get in Beaujolais. Wow, that's super fun. It smells like kind of like spring strawberries, It has that really bright primary fruit, but that really nice spicy character to back it up.
Down with the pig.
Yeah. Okay. It's great pork wine. There you go. If you're doing little pork chops this weekend, you got your wine right here.
These will be open on the tasting bar this weekend, so if you do want to venture out in that cold
really
weather,
good.
pop on by, try a little taste. All three of these are open. The rosé, we didn't open it today because we've both had it a number of times.
Yeah. Probably had it over the holidays a couple times too. This is one of my absolute go-to rosés. Gamay makes such beautiful rosé. It's just a perfect grape for it. You get all the fruit, all the freshness, really pretty, really bright for $23. That's pretty hard to beat.
Yeah.
Looks like you got a case to get to for the holidays too, eh?
We do. Brand new case of the month. We haven't talked about the case of the month in a little while, so I wanted to kind of showcase what we did for January. If you are like me, my credit card took a little hit for Christmas, so I'm on a budget, and we knocked this down 15%, so it's actually on for $210 for 12 bottles of wine. So you can still have your wine, because I know we are homeschooling, we're staying in, it's a little chilly, we're doing all kinds of things
Lots
we didn't
of challenges
count on.
out there, is that what you're saying? There's challenges for everybody right now?
Don't challenge the checkbook. Buy a cheap case of wine with awesome wine in it.
Yeah, you did a nice job with that. It is
We even threw the
super
Pioneer
intensive.
Cab in there.
Wow.
Henri Pion Chard and the brand new bubbles from Jeff Carell.
Nice.
I mean, there's some really, really fun wines. Ben de Vie and Côte d'Aron is back. All
Always
your
fave.
winter treats, you know?
There you go.
So
Nice
check
job.
that out. If you want to try these, of course, we'll have them open in store, or buy all three as a pack online and save yourself $10.
Yeah, or just come down and see us, see what's open at the bar. We're not running crazy like we have in the last couple of months, so we'll be able to chat with you. Tell us about your holidays, taste some wine, enjoy life. It's a little more laid back around here right now than it has been over the holidays. So we'd love to see you. Pop by, say hi, and who knows what we might open for you.
See you soon.